Before we start, we're just going to have a minute's silence, staring into the candle for an old friend that passed this week. Okay, thanks for that. I'll leave that lit. They were in their 20s, so young. Just going to invite in the number energies of the day. Welcome to Feet Series 2, Unit 9, no, Episode 9, Unit 8. The Cancer, Moon, Pisces, Sun, lots of water energies and emotions. The chest area, the breasts, stomach, mucosa, which is like the mucus lining of the stomach. And there's some other ones as well on the bodies and cavities. It produces the mucus, the womb, and the ovaries. Yeah. So today is the 13th, but we'll just do 4 because 13 breaks down to 4. Taking some deep breaths and sighing on your exhalation if you feel inclined. And we're going to jump to and then the connecting of the two. March 3. Thank you, Kendall. So we're going to go with body knowledge today. It's going to be, we're all in green, got a grey vest top on, and we've actually kind of bound our breasts in with a red scarf, which completely changes because of the hypermobility and the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Completely changes our breaths, so hopefully it's going to be contracting in. And we have just been in restorative floor position, doing breath work beforehand, with no Wi-Fi on or anything, and we burnt some stuff as well. So we're going to show you the teeth. So in a minute we're just going to do just a body connecting into body. One could call it meditation, it's whatever. Meditation for us just means focusing one's attention. It would kind of be focusing one's attention on one thing, pinpointed focus. But for us, it's not quite like that because there's a few of us functioning at once, if each one of us is focusing their attention on one thing, there's a few things we're actually focusing our attention on. So it means being present in the moment and aware of what one is doing. So if we use that terminology, we're going to do some body connecting and awareness. Dancing, prefer the word dance to work. It's more fun. So we're just going to bring ourselves into the body and just utilize our breath. And we're just going to talk ourselves through, I don't know, it's going to be intuitive in the moment flow. So I'm not quite sure what's going to come out. And what we do is we use a lot of, because the reflex points on the feet and the hands and the head correlate and relate to every part of the body, and rewiring our inside of our image on the outside eventually. We attempted that through doing our teacher training, and it broke us from our limbs of action inwards rather than strengthening, because of the chaos and the misalignment was that drastic. So we do it from our mouth. So each teeth relates to a meridian, and one can rewire it, etc. So we're going to tell you the teeth, and we move our tongue around the mouth and do out. And in Chinese, in Qigong, one puts their tongue just behind the teeth on the gum, and that creates the flow of energy up and around the body. So yeah, you may wish to put it on there, you may wish to put it onto the side. This is your knees. So we're really tight here. So you may see us stretching out this bit because our knees are tight. And right to the back roof at the top, we tend to do as well. But it's about you discovering your own body knowledge, your own body intuition. And the more we connect to the body, the more we eat live bacteria food. It's the live bacteria, the consciousness of the live bacteria and the conscious experience of our body communicate with God's spirit and the guides. Isn't something external of us, it's in it. He actually said something recently that gave us a lot of confidence and validation. Our connection is unstable. Yes, so things might go in and out with connection. So I have to see what it's like when we watch it back. So yeah, he was saying how he was asking spirit, what's the point of being human? Why don't we just be spirit? And he said that his cells spoke back to him through like consciousness with a question, saying that he had Jewish heritage. And their question was, Bruce, what name? Probably not very clearly, but we do say it, we've written it at the end of our daily poet videos on our other channel, and that life is to experience, because the soul, spirit, is just energy. It isn't able to experience and perceive the world as humans do, because humans experience the world in a soul doesn't know what chocolate tastes like. It doesn't know what it feels like to be stroked and caressed. It doesn't know what it feels like to stroke your pet, or to put your hand in soil, or to go swimming in the sea and have the water against you. So the reason to reincarnate or to experience or to be human is to experience life through the senses of perception. But it's the senses of perception, and it's the senses of perception that give us that understanding of the world. So if our senses of perception have a malfunction or distortion or a different wiring, so you go to David Eagleman and he'll call it synesthesia, where you'll hear sound, you'll see sound, or you'll hear color, and your senses get, the terminology they use at the moment is miswired or wired wrong. But who's to say what's wrong or right? In our philosophy, there is no wrong or right. There just is what there is. And the whole idea is to be gentle and compassionate and open and non-judgmental with oneself. And then one can be that outwards. And the idea is to find out everyone else's experience of the world, how they see, how they hear, through the external reality of the collective agreement, but also their subjective internal reality, because it's very different, and it's the difference that creates beauty. And the more we accept difference and attempt to understand difference and attempt to walk in someone else's shoes and attempt to at least attempt to be able to see it from their experience once they describe it. But that's the whole thing. When they describe it, they might not be very good with words. It might come through feelings or the energetic field. So the more and deeper we get to know ourselves and understand ourselves, the more and deeper we can get to know and understand someone else, irrelevant of whether we speak the same language, irrelevant of whether maybe we do speak the same language, but there's complete misunderstanding. It's about understanding the communication skills that aren't words. So yeah, we'll do show you on the feet as well. So we'll show where the womb, the ovaries, and if you're a male and you don't have a womb, that's okay. You still got that energetic center of the hara 2 fingers below. So you can focus your attention on that area. And when we focus our attention on a certain area, it might be not necessarily visual in image form, but it could be a visual. It could just be bringing one's attention and awareness to that area, just like by thinking it as a thought or seeing it as seeing it. Or there might be a sound related to that area that you can connect into. Or you might want to put your hand on that area. Because we're dancing with the feet energies, we're not necessarily dancing with the feet energies in physical form as the feet, although we are doing that a bit. It's mainly with the feet energies of the sun, the external feet energies of the sun, because Pisces sun at the moment, and Pisces rules the feet. But one might want to put their hands on the feet of where the womb or ovaries or breast or chest area is. So there's different ways we can bring our awareness to that area without specifically bringing our hand or touching that area. Cancer is in house number 4 of the collective natal chart. 4 is the heart chakra. It's the 4th chakra is the heart chakra on the standard 7 chakra system. And you've got home is where the heart is. So home can be anywhere where one's heart is able to open, where one's heart is able to be authentic and express who they truly are and to feel safe and to be accepted and loved, which starts from being accepted and unconditionally loving ourselves, but first. But Cancer is all about the motherly energies. It's all about the home. It's all about making home and feeling safe in the environment external of us at the same time. It's the crab, which has got a shell, and one can hide away in the shell. So one can go either into their inner reality or hide away in their home to create a sense of replenishment and regeneration and to top up one's level. So it's important to know one's own boundaries and needs, and to know one's own healthy boundaries, which change depending on the situation or people, etc. And therefore they can't set healthy boundaries for other people. We actually did have a memory this just pop up from when we were younger, with our feet over the edge of a rock into a rock pool, and a crab came out of a little hole and bit our toe. Our big toenail's falling off on our left at the moment as well. Cancer, the 4th chakra, is also what precedes the 5th chakra if you're going up, but it also precedes the 3rd chakra if you're going down, which is the solar plexus, your 3rd chakra, yellow, your house power communication, but through any form of expression or any form of communication. And the throat chakra is ruled by, I'm pretty sure, Mercury. The heart, Cancer, is ruled by the moon. And it's actually, today is the sun. It's the sun day, but it's the planet ruler. Even though the sun and the moon are luminaires and stars, they're considered planets in astrology. And the sun rules Sunday and the moon rules Monday. So today is like a preparation for the energetics coming in or tomorrow, even though today in about a half an hour or just under, we shift into void of course moon, out of the Cancer energies into void of course, where there's no astrological energies, into the moon and Leo energies at about 7:30 p.m. tonight UTC. And so then that's going into the upper back and the heart, because Leo rules the upper back and the heart. So there's a real bridge here of the Cancer energies in the water of the heart, and feeling at home, understanding the emotions, which is represents with the water, to prepare ourselves for the fire, and for the heart and the Leo expressive energies. Monday, the moon is the card on the tarot, is the High Priestess, which is all about intuition. Pisces is big about intuition. The sun. Cancer is also a water sign, which is very intuitive, but it's more of maybe motherly, instinctual, intuitive is what, well, that's interesting to hear us say. And let's go blank. So yeah, there's a bit of information there that's flowed out, first of all. So the teeth related to the heart. So if you go on the right and left, the very back ones, the wisdom ones. So you may not have had your wisdom teeth come out, or you might have had your wisdom teeth pulled out. We're both scenarios, top and bottom. I think it's the bottom that's pulled out and the top not come out because it's crowded. But you can still put your tongue into those areas of either side to connect the circuits of the meridians with the heart. That also does the peripheral nervous system and the energy metabolism. Peripheral nervous system, because we're just going to balance the parasympathetic and the sympathetic with 64 hertz, and these are for the body. Stomach is, so that you've got those with the far ones, the wisdom teeth at the back. The next two in from the back, so if you've got your wisdom teeth out, that's one, and you've got 2, 3, are your stomach. So having your tongue anywhere around that area brings it into the stomach, and that's on the top only, and the top on your left as well. I don't know if it actually has breasts and chests and ovaries on this. We did look earlier, but we're obviously in different energies earlier to when we looked. No, so there we go. It looks like we're focusing on the stomach and the heart area. But if you want to bring your awareness to on the feet for the stomach, your stomach is in the middle here. It goes up to the yellow areas. So if you go to this part of your feet, the yellow, you can just bring your awareness there. That's your stomach. We did think it had ovaries. So on the top of your foot, you've got your fallopian tubes. So it's kind of around your, it's in the blues, it's kind of around your ankles here, by your baby foot. So if you were to get your palm and put it around that whole area, that would take you, I kind of like on the back bit of the heel there. It's not actually saying womb. Here's another one, fallopian tubes. It's a light blue on the top instead of a dark blue. And your breastbone is right up here, so you can put the whole chest area over the top of the foot. Okay. So it's about learning to trust yourself, and your own intuition, and getting to make friends and getting to know your intuition and your different types of intuition: heart intuition, gut intuition, intuitive knowing, sensory, just a general feeling over the body. One might get shivery tingles, or the goosebumps, or the hairs might stand on end. This is what the importance of just getting to know our body. Our body unconditionally loves us. Our body has our back. It's the only true collective of bacteria and cells that has our back, and it's always attempting to speak to us and to communicate with us, because the consciousness of every bacteria and every cell, and the collective of these communities of bacterial and cellular communities consciousness, want the body to be in alignment, want there to be good posture, want to get oxygen, spirit, air, breath to every part of the body, because then there's least pain and better posture, least diseases, least if the body's aligned and good posture, then all the other ailments and pain goes away. But it all depends what we fuel our body with and how we move our body. So we invite you to do what you're comfortable with, whether that's keeping your eyes open or closing your eyes, and to put yourself into a position where you feel comfortable, you feel nurtured, you feel safe, you feel held and loved and comfortable by your body, whether that's laying on the floor on your front or your back, laying on the floor on your left or your right in the fetal position. If you get any kind of reflux, we advise to go on your left-hand side, because then you're laying on your stomach. So therefore, if you have not long eaten or something, your stomach's not upside down, so you're not going to get like reflux. But if you have any kind of heart stuff, then it's maybe more advisable to lay on your right-hand side. And it might be that you're standing. You might be too. Meditation doesn't necessarily mean being still. Still passive meditation, but it can be an active passive meditation. So, a little bit of shuddering, a little bit of shaking. You're doing what your body needs. Shaking is the oldest and the newest form of medicine. It's movement. And we've got to know these forms of movement. Therefore, they can have active meditation. Like a lot of people get a lot out of running or cycling, but one can do a passive active meditation, which would be more like a practice like Qigong or Tai Chi, that's slower, moving with the energies, or yoga, more of an active yoga. But yoga ranges from your active yogas of a fast flow. You've got a whole array in between. It's a combination of 8 limbs of yoga: internal conduct, external conduct. Asana, the postures, is just one limb of it, the third limb. And then you've got pranayama, the energetic. So we're getting into the subtle movement and the macro movement, the physical. Whereas the physical is the dense. The atoms vibrate slower. If one's running a race, the slowest one loses. The atoms are faster in the unseen energetic world. The wavelengths are, I think we get this wrong, but the wavelengths are longer. So I think it's like they're squished in and higher rather than out and long and thin. But we always get like a few, it depends which one of us is out thin, but we always get only constant is change. Atoms are always vibrating, and if we are made of a physical seen atomic body, then there's always movement, there's always vibration. And the more we can bring our awareness down to that micro movement of the atomic body, we can then go into the subatomic body of the energy flow. And if the energy is flowing faster and more dynamic, we need to bring ourselves down to a slower pace so that we can experience it with focused awareness, rather than it just moving too quickly and not being able to gently observe without doing, witnessing our breath. How are we breathing? Do we breathe through our mouth? Do we breathe through our nose? Do we utilize all 3/3 of the lung? We're doing both sides. What happens to our rib cage? What happens to our shoulder muscles, the second respiratory muscles, to activate? Are you able to feel the temperature of the air when it goes through your nostrils, if you're a nostril breather? To gain more alignment in the body, we are meant to breathe through our nose, but sometimes it's impossible to breathe through our nose because of the mucus buildup. So the energies that we're tapping into at the moment with the Cancer moon energies are amazing to do that pre-purging and cleansing of the mucosa tubes. Not that mucus is bad from our personal opinion, because that's bringing in the reality again of good and bad. There is good mucus and there's bad mucus. For us, we still have mucus, but we've cut out dairy products apart from our goat's kefir. But the body still produces it because the body needs mucus to do certain things. Over plant-based mucus, it's a whole different process to breaking it down and clearing out the congestion in the tubes. So we're just going to bring ourselves into a bit of sound. Feel free to join in and shake if your body wants to do some sound. However you like to do your sound, whether you sound on the inhalation or the exhalation, whether you sound coming in through the nose or coming in through the mouth. With our collarbone break and how everything's realigning, we have to breathe through both our nose and our mouth at different times. If we widen our mouth, that widens the body, widening the chest, able to get more oxygen into the lungs. But it's playing around for you, seeing what you need to do, changing your position. The more we can put ourselves into unfamiliar patterns, unfamiliar positions, and be in a restorative, gentle, passive beingness in that posture. And it may be hard to breathe, but the more we exhale our breath out and feel the gentle pause. Inhale our breath, feel the gentle pause. And keep that going. We may want to exhale our breath out, feel a gentle pause. Exhale the breath out and inhale. Inhale, feel a gentle pause. Inhale and exhale. Or one might want to do a pause at the end rather than exhaling, pause, exhaling, pause. We focus a lot on, in current day understanding of breath work, there's a lot of attention and focus put onto the exhale because it relaxes, and we live in a very fast-paced life where there's a lot more modern day stress, and so the fight, flight, adrenaline's kicking in. There's a lot of people that go into the freeze part of the fight flight, where therefore the adrenaline's coming in but it's not doing anything, and then it builds up into the muscles creating lactic acid and gets very destructive in the internal body. But at the same time, we need to focus on our inhaling because we need to pump the tubes up. We need to create space. Space is important. If we want to create space in our environment, we organize, or we declutter, or we recycle, upcycle, or give away or throw away. So see where your breath takes you. See where your heart takes you. See where your body takes you. Observe. Don't do, don't change. Observe. Then change or do if that feels necessary. But having the observation first and then making the change is bringing the awareness and the attention into the body. It's settling us, but also understanding a traumatized body doesn't want to get still. Shaking is the oldest and newest form of medicine. Just always bringing yourself into a subtle shake or a rock or a spiral movement. We're noticing now that we're kind of going clockwise. So we're just going to start doing our head gently and slowly and softly anti-clockwise. Now our shoulders are wanting to come in and there's a lot of spasm and chaos. So now our pelvis is going in a circular movement anti-clockwise. We're attempting to do our head clockwise, and that one, that's brought us to a place of just slight stillness for a moment. And now we're wanting to just bounce, like we're on a big bouncy Swiss ball. Not actually doing it with our hands, but because there's so many of us, we imagine, because we're not connected to them, but we tell our other altars to, like, please can you place your hands on what we said earlier, and just allow them to do what they need to do. We imagine we're like Ganesh and we've got extra arms coming out of us that can reach all the way down to our ankles and our stomach and our womb and our ovaries, on our feet. When we're making sound, that monotone is when there's purging and there's clearing going on. And then the more that's the dissonant resonance. And then the more harmonic resonance is when we are reaching part of our center, but then our fascia kind of disconnects and rips, and there's a jolt. None of it's all just what comes out. None of we don't know the word to say right now, but it's just we make sound and it comes out how it needs to come out. And that's what we call vocal sounding, clearing trauma from the body and vocal sounding, clearing those memories that create tension and tightness in the connective tissue and the fascia, because all the data, memory, information from our past is residing in our connective tissue and our fascia. It creates the tension, and if the pattern is habitual and over and repetitive, then it creates a knot, a lump. If one does eat meat or does eat steak, they want their meat to be tenderized first. The idea is to get our body tenderized, not to have these solid, knotted muscles. We invite these energies because it goes deep into the womb and the central nervous system and the heart to invite our doing this stuff since our seizures 5.5 years ago. And we know it's all part of the guide, but it goes to and everything that's inside the body. We don't know in this moment either. We did set the intention earlier for we don't like the words highest good, in not best interest, for the most harmonic resonance and calm and peace and balance, strength and flexibility for us, the viewers that come to this, humanity and Mother Gaia, creating a symbiotic relationship, a harmonious symbiotic relationship with all our bacterial communities, all our cellular communities. So their consciousness is the build-up and the collective of the consciousness of this one body. And then it can communicate with consciousness, with God, the external, that passes through everything, the electromagnetic space, top pat. Mm, 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 mm. So we do Fibonacci sequence, beeping. There's ones of us that speak in numbers. There's the ones of us that are sonic, the ones of us that speak in the weather and the colour or the patterns. Hence the importance of why we've needed to understand the language of energy, because that's the fractal, that's the micro, that's the fundamental language of all of these. Words, our words need a lot of growth and development. We've always grown and developing our words, but we grow and develop it from the ones that speak in numbers. We did 4 out then and 4 in. I noticed none of it's conscious. This is flow state. But 44 is the number of environment. How we experience and perceive the world through our senses of perception depends on our internal environment, our internal sensory wiring systems, our internal bacteria, etc. Reminds us of Bruce Lipton, epigenetics, above genes. Not being a victim to our genes, not being a victim to circumstance. Stepping out of victim consciousness. Taking self-accountability, self-responsibility, self-management. Because these most amazing rainbow spiral, bioorganic, quantum bioorganic computers of a body, a temple, a vessel that houses us, are the most amazing machines going. And we have the power within. We just have to believe. And knowing that there's many aspects of us in this one body, whoever we are. And there's parts of us that will believe, and there's parts of us that will doubt. That's where the balance comes into play. Acknowledging the doubt, thinking of it like a classroom of kids, and one needs to get them all across a river, a bridge on a river. How do we get them all across together? Maybe we buddy them up, put them into get them to stand into 2 circles, a circle of over there, the ones that are fearful, over there, the ones that one could take another one across the bridge. Our inner children, stunted parts of our generational consciousness that never grew up because of some incident that happened when we were younger. We're not ignoring it, we're not repressing it, we're not suppressing it. We're allowing it to flow and be what it needs to be, with love, motherly energy, nurturing, not an in excess of motherly energy, which is smothering, and not a deficient of motherly energy, not tough love, or no support, or no nurturing. Becoming our own mum, our own father. Changing the narratives to be the best version of us we can be for us, and therefore for those around us. Knowing that when we enter this deep state of feeling, this deep state of presence, this deep state of core heart being, words aren't necessary. Intuition grows, and we become the frequency. We be that vibration. We live it, and then it just radiates out, and it will trigger some, and some won't like it because it's too far away from their spectrum of comfort. And that's okay. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to offer love. We don't need to do anything. We just be. Because what will happen energetically, how it's meant to be. If we offer love, they might not be receptive to love. It might trigger them more. If we offer love, that's coming from our conscious mind. We want to be from our heart. The heart and the energies know best, and they'll do what they need to do as long as we're doing our own practice of connecting to ourselves, connecting to our body through movement, through dance, through being in nature, through gardening and eating our own food, through cooking our own food, strengthening that constructive feedback loop of information out and in of the senses, in and out of the senses. The more whole food that we can eat, the more we create our own food, the more these connections strengthen, and the more we heal ourselves and bring this balance and strength and flexibility to the body. And so we do to our mind. Mental health precedes physical health, but the mental health comes from the physical well-being of what we fuel our body with. Food, liquids, thoughts. But it's all our own experience. Feel a beautiful green shower of green, bright greens, yellow greens, dark greens, fresh greens, bluey greens, reddy greens, sparkling in the light, hidden in the shadows, surrounding us, passing through our bodies, passing through our hearts, passing through our stomach, our ovaries, our womb, through the whole nervous system of the body, out of every hair follicle in the body, out of our fingers, out of our toes, zillions and trillions and billions of tiny, tiny green threads going out of our body everywhere, down into the grass or into the concrete or into the carpet, whatever base of the ground you're on. There's the mycobellum roots and those green sparkly glitters of heart vibrational frequency going through the whole mycobellum root network of all the land, into the algae of the oceans, through the oceans, over onto other continents, spreading wide and far, and then going deeper into the ground, down to the base of the seabed, down through all the layers of rock on the land, until we reach Mother Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth's womb, lava center core. And we give this reddy, orangey, hot, fiery energy, our gentle, green, calming, unconditional love, sharing that beautiful, balanced, symbiotic relationship that we have of harmonic sympathy or sympathy. Giving the symphony of the harmonic orchestra, the symphony of the harmonic and the dissonant frequencies, but together they create these beautiful sounds as they balance each other out. So the bubbling, vibrant, chaotic room of Mother Earth to settle her down, her vibrations, to gentle the tectonic plate movements, to send those vibrations back up again, and to gently calm all of humanity that needs calming. Because the gateway and the portal to the collective unconscious energetics is through our central nervous system, by going deep inwards. Evolution inwards of the self is involution. And ourselves in deep into Mother Earth's womb, connecting ourselves out high into the cosmos and the galaxies and the stars. The heart electromagnetic field expands. And so the underworld, hell, earth, the lava center core gets calmed and has the heart green frequencies. The galaxy, the cosmos, heaven, the upper world has the green heart balancing frequencies. And our trunk, the antennae, the transformer, the receptors, all of it, the human body, the connector between the two, the middle world, through the heart electromagnetic field, sends it out and around and up and down and up and in and out and in. Creating these nodes and these light networks through all the dimensions, all the energetic wavelengths, all the energetic particles, no matter the spectrum, no matter the frequency, bathing it in green. So 13 of the date broken down to 4, plus 3 of the month is 7, plus 6 of the year, the macro, the micro, and the connector is 13 again. 13 is the feminine complex stability, the number of moon cycles in a year. And breaks down to number 4, the number of Mother Gaia. Number of perseverance, structure, foundation, the Emperor card in the tarot. Stepping into the new, aligned, balanced, masculine energetics. The masculine energies of the part. One that can only understand the whole by understanding the parts, the whole being the feminine, the masculine, the part. But we mustn't get sucked into the part only. We must learn how the parts dance in harmony together, synchronized swimming that create the whole. Layer upon layer within the spiral onion, down the rabbit hole spirals.